When Lewis Hamilton joined Ferrari, many expected the seven-time world champion to immediately stamp his authority on the team. But what's unfolded in these opening rounds of the 2025 season has shocked even the most seasoned observers, because despite all the fanfare, it's Charles Leclerc, not Hamilton, who's been setting the benchmark, and this weekend ahead of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, Hamilton has finally admitted just how far ahead Leclerc is in mastering the notoriously difficult SF25. But this isn't just about results, it's about driving style adaptation and the raw ability to extract performance from a machine that refuses to behave. Hamilton recently revealed that he's been studying onboard footage trying to understand how his teammate makes this car work, and what he saw left him absolutely speechless. Before we dive into the jaw-dropping insights Hamilton shared, and what they reveal about the internal dynamics at Ferrari, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe if you're new around here, and stay until the very end of the video so you don't miss a single detail. And if you want even more exclusive F1 content, don't forget to check out my second channel, linked in the description below, where I post extra updates, breakdowns, and in-depth stories from across the paddock. Go hit that subscribe button over there too. You won't want to miss it. So what exactly has Hamilton seen in driving? And why has it left him utterly speechless? Let's start with the car itself. The SF25 is notoriously finicky, a machine that punishes hesitation and rewards precision. And in that unstable environment, Charles Leclerc has carved out a style that borders on fearless. His affinity for an oversteery setup isn't just unusual, it's borderline. Radical. Most drivers, especially those with Hamilton's experience, prefer stability. They want a planted rear end, something predictable under braking and reliable through the exit of corners. But Leclerc, he welcomes chaos. He drives on the knife's edge of adhesion, sliding the rear, balancing the car in moments where others would be backing off the throttle. It's high risk, but in his hands it's also high reward, and perfectly suited to the SF25's quirks. Hamilton, who spent nearly 2 decades in F1, knows the dangers of an unpredictable car better than anyone. And yet, even with all his titles, all his experience, he's openly admitted that he struggled to tame this beast. The way Leclerc has the consistency with which Charles finds performance has become an internal benchmark at Ferrari. Hamilton's weekend after weekend of setup experimentation, trying everything from ride height changes to differential tweaks to brake migration shifts, has so far yielded minimal gains. Meanwhile, often settles on a setup early and sticks to it. That decisiveness is paying off massively, especially in qualifying, where one-lap performance is critical and where Hamilton has frankly been exposed. Let's not forget Bahrain, where Leclerc outqualified Hamilton by a stunning 0.6 of a second. That kind of gap is huge in modern F1, especially between two world-class drivers in equal machinery. And although Hamilton managed to climb back to 5th on race day, the narrative was set. Leclerc isn't just more comfortable, he's more confident, more instinctive, and more precise in how he extracts speed from this specific car. But there's more to it than just raw speed this weekend. Marks Leclerc's 131st Grand Prix, with Ferrari placing him just behind legends like Schumacher, Räikkönen, and Massa, in terms of loyalty to the scooter. That level of embeddedness matters. It's not just about experience in a general sense. It's about deep institutional knowledge. Leclerc understands how Ferrari reacts under pressure, how the engineering team operates during a race weekend, and where to push and where to compromise. These are subtleties that Hamilton, despite his unparalleled pedigree, is still learning. Add to that the technical transition Hamilton is facing. It's monumental. He's spent over a decade at Mercedes with an entirely different philosophy. Everything from the brake field, Carbon Industries versus Brembo, to the engine braking deployment, to the software systems that control the car's electronic aids. All of it is new, and those changes, while subtle to the average fan, are seismic for a driver. Imagine changing not just your tools but your entire workflow mid-career. That's what Hamilton is doing. And while he's undoubtedly making progress, as he said, he's learned more this past weekend than in all the others combined. He's still on the back foot. What's most telling is Hamilton's mindset. In the past, he would mold the car to suit his style. That was part of what made him so successful at Mercedes. The team built around him. But now at Ferrari, he's had to abandon that philosophy. He's changing himself to adapt to the car, something he's never truly had to do before. He's altering his inputs, adjusting the way he brakes, relearning how to rotate the car, mid-corner. And crucially, he's studying on boards, trying to reverse engineer the magic that's putting the Monegas ahead every Sunday. This isn't just about Hamilton being humble. It's about recognizing that to win in 2025, he needs to evolve. He needs to chase the standard that Leclerc has quietly, methodically, and relentlessly set inside Ferrari. And that's the real bombshell here. Not that Leclerc is quicker, but that Hamilton, a seven-time world champion, is publicly acknowledging it and changing everything to catch up, because if there's one thing we've learned about Lewis over the years, it's that you never count him out. He might be chasing now, but when he catches up, it usually ends in fireworks. So what happens next? Well, Saudi Arabia isn't just another race on the calendar. It's a litmus test, a circuit like Jeddah with its ultra-fast corners, smoother tarmac, and minimal elevation changes removes many of the variables that have masked Ferrari's true performance so far. This is where precision matters. Confidence behind the wheel is everything. And that's exactly where the contrast between and Hamilton becomes so fascinating for Charles. This is familiar territory. He's already proven he can extract every ounce of performance from the SF25 when it matters. But for Lewis, Jeddah might just be the first circuit of 2025 where his growing adaptation to Ferrari's driving demands could translate into something big, not just for himself but for the entire team dynamic, because, let's be honest, this isn't just about lap times or qualifying gaps anymore. It's about identity. Ferrari brought Hamilton in to lead, to elevate the team, to bring championship DNA back to Maranello. But right now it's Leclerc who's acting like the team's cornerstone. He's not just delivering results, he's setting the tone. And that changes everything. The question is, can Hamilton flip the script? Can his relentless work behind the scenes, his study of technique, and his willingness to evolve as a driver finally pay off, not just in tenth of a second, but in real psychological momentum? Because as this battle continues, every weekend becomes more than just a race. It becomes a statement. Every qualifying session, every race start, every radio message between driver and pit wall. All of it is fuel for Ferrari's internal narrative, and that narrative right now is beginning to tilt towards Charles. But that's also what makes this moment so compelling. Because if anyone on the grid can turn adversity into firepower, it's Lewis Hamilton. He's not here for nostalgia. He's here to win. And if he can start closing the gap in Jeddah, it won't just be a sign of progress. It'll be a warning shot. Leclerc and the rest of the field. This is no longer just about how fast the SF25 is, it's about who owns it. And as the tension builds, don't be surprised if this intra-Team AM rivalry becomes the most explosive storyline of the season. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe has firmly taken the reins at Ferrari? Or is Hamilton about to deliver one of his trademark comebacks? Can Ferrari manage two alpha drivers fighting for supremacy in the same garage? If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like to support the channel. Subscribe for more in-depth F1 analysis just like this. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update, because this is only the beginning. And if this is how Ferrari starts the season, imagine the drama when it all comes to a head later this year. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time right here. Stay tuned. It is in this atmosphere of immense pressure and shifting expectations that Charles Leclerc is crafting one of the most compelling narratives of his Formula One career. From the moment the SF25 hit the track in preseason testing, it became clear that Ferrari had built a car with serious potential, but also with serious quirks. Unlike previous years where the Scuderia struggled with balance or lacked pace over a race stint, the SF25 seemed like a machine that demanded a specific kind of driving. One that favored aggression and lightning-fast reflexes over the calculated smoothness that drivers like Hamilton have perfected over the years. And this is where Leclerc began to shine. While many drivers were still trying to decode the SF25's complex behavior, Leclerc appeared to understand its rhythm almost intuitively. He embraced the oversteery tendencies, adjusted his inputs mid-corner with precision, and committed to throttle application in places where most would hesitate. It wasn't just technical skill, it was artistry. And Lewis Hamilton, one of the most accomplished drivers in the history of the sport, found himself watching Leclerc's onboard footage not to critique, but to learn. Hamilton's admiration, publicly expressed during the build-up to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, marked a rare moment in modern Formula One, a moment when a seven-time world